Today, I want to speak to you on Inculturation. Second Vatican Council was certainly a watershed in the life of the Church. Though in 1949, Extra Ecclesiam Nulla Salus has been declared a heretical doctrine, but almost all people in the Church followed this doctrine. Even in seminaries, these things were taught. Sometimes it's a pity even to this day. But during the Vatican Council II, there was a breakthrough. Suddenly, a Vietnamese bishop, old bishop, got up and posed a question at the fag end of the 1963 session of Vatican II. Already 2 sessions were over, 1962 and 63, and we are at the fag end. He stamped his foot and asked, "What does this august assembly have to say on religions other than Christianity, which is practiced by the vast majority of our people in this world?" Everyone was perplexed. Everyone was trying to speak. Suddenly, those who prepared for this council, the various position papers, found there was a lacune. A great topic has been omitted, and therefore they said, we cannot do justice to such a topic in a hurried way. We will come back 1964 with a good position paper, discuss it, and thus in 1964 Second Vatican Third Session, a document called Nostra Aetate was born. In this document, non-Christian religions are no more called superstitious or coming from the demons, etc. On the contrary, Hinduism, Buddhism, and all the major religions of the world received special praise. And in article number 2, Nostra Aetate said, the Church calls upon all her sons and daughters to recognize, preserve, and promote all that is beautiful that is found in these ancient religions. Now Christians had no more option just to leave it out. They had to recognize that these religions, their scriptures are coming from God. And they have to preserve them. Even if a particular religion has lost all its followers and we have their scripture, we are duty bound to preserve it. And then third, we have got to promote. How do we promote unless we use them in our daily life? Though it was beautifully proclaimed, in practice, even today the average priest only speaks about tolerance towards other religions and nothing else. It is from this reason that we have now engaged in a process of allowing the seeds of the gospel to fall into the culture of the land, the rich culture of the land. Allow the seed of the gospel to germinate, taking sap from its rich soil. And thus, a local church is born. There is two-way enrichment. On the one hand, the local culture is enriched because the gospel of Jesus, the seed of the word, seed has entered into the culture and in a way evangelized it. At the same time, the gospel themselves received a new expression in a new culture. In 1974, when the Asian Bishops' Conference met, they beautifully coined a word to address this process, and this word was inculturation. And they gave a very beautiful definition. I will read it. The local church is a church incarnate in a people, a church indigenous and inculturated. And this means, concretely, a church in continuous, humble and loving dialogue with the living traditions, the cultures, the religions, in brief, with all the live realities of the people in whose midst it has sunk its roots deeply, and whose history and life it gladly makes its own. It seeks to share in whatever truly belongs to the people, its meanings and its values, its inspirations, its thoughts and its language, its songs and its artistry, even its frailties and the failings it assumes, so that they too may be healed. For so did God's Son assume the totality of our fallen condition, save only for sin, so that he might make it truly his own and redeem it in his paschal mystery. So there is the incarnation, the germination of the seed in a particular culture, and the process of death, all that is not compatible with the values of the kingdom which the Gospels preached, undergo death and then resurrection, the emergence of the local church. Here culture is taken in the broader sense, the total human dynamic reality of the people of the land, the live realities of the people. Encounter of these two germinates and fructifies into the local church. The practice of the faith is the basis of the local or contextual theology. Therefore, as Jesuit Father Aloysius Pires of Sri Lanka says, the local theology and the local church co-originates. A local church of India is very different from the local church of, say, Japan, for example, or for that matter, Europe, because the particularities of the kingdom communities form the basis for its difference. The little flock that is spread everywhere forms the basis of the church, and the total reality is taken and is called kingdom. Therefore, kingdom is much larger than the church. Church is but a little flock, rex parvulus, as Jesus said, grazing peacefully in the local culture. And flowering with its own individuality. All these local churches taken together is called the universal church, and the particularities of the kingdom communities forms the difference of the local churches.